Mountainville I was born.
Yeah, Mountainville.
Mountainville, which is a town of Cornwall.
Right.
Yeah. My school's up the hill. The church is up the hill, about a half a mile away from the house where I was born, home.
Mm-hmm.
And then, let's see, the church is there, the school's next to it on Angola Road up the hill.
Yeah.
And then Pleasant Hill Cemetery is not far from there, so
It's a big circle of life.
Circle of life, right in Mountainville, Cornwall. That's a minute.
Yes. So you started riding in 1944.
44, and just, did this, that.
How'd you get your first bike?
I bought it from a fellow at a neighboring farm. But we used to all meet, all the guys, girls too, at the Little Britain Grange.
Oh, I know that.
Square dance. All right, everybody was there.
The Grange is still there, right?
Yeah, oh sure. But all the deals were made there those days.
Oh,
Cars were sold, bikes, cars, So that's where you make your hook up.
Did a lot of the farmers use motorcycles, like the Indian bikes, for farming? No. Or just for transportation?
But the thing in those days, it was your transportation.
Right.
You got a bike, it was the cheapest thing, $75
To buy one.
You had a used Indian
Right.
or a Harley.
Right.
And it's whatever you start with. If you start with an Indian, of course you're partial to that.
Yes. Well, your first bike.
Yeah, but I'm saying that brand.
Right. And back then, you had to license it, just like
Well, I
today?
rode for, I bet you, 6 months with no plate or driver's license. And the back roads then, or mountain area, and all the secondary were dirt.
Right.
And it was wartime, so you didn't have a lot of cops. You once in a while might run into a constable or something. But
Right. They didn't bother you.
Well, he wouldn't bother you. You could outrun him. He had his own car.
Welcome everybody. We're not going to cut taxes. We're only going to cut this ribbon. But thanks for making the trip. I guess it's a lot better that it's a little bit cold, but no rain for a while, so we're good. But we got a few years working here, and again, thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, we want you to know how privileged you are to be the first people to see this wonderful collection from Mr. During, Ted During, and what they're doing for the city of Newburgh. Please give them a big round of applause. Okay, guys.
This is it.
You get one in, you
Get
get
one in. We'll hold it. We cut it. You ready? Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
all right.
Thanks for coming in. Thank you. Thanks for coming in.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are here today at the grand opening of Motorcyclepedia. and we're standing with Steve Barber, one of the top 10 finalists in the Cannonball Motorcycle Run. Correct? Okay. Steve, thank you so much. Tell us a little bit about your bike and your experience in the cross-country trip. Must have been exciting.
Yeah, it was a wild experience. I was one of the lucky 10 guys that finished with a perfect score, and this is my bike that I rode. It's a 1915 Harley Davidson. It's a 3-speed. It's a twin-cylinder, 1,000 cc's. This was definitely the most popular choice for the run. Last year of the entries available, and first year of a 3-speed transmission. So it was very nice for climbing hills, in and out of city traffic. And once we got on the flat roads, I could cruise comfortably at 55, 65 miles an hour. I actually got the bike up over 70 miles an hour a couple times down a big hill, so it was quite an experience. It was pretty wild.
Any modifications to make that trip?
Biggest modification was a Airhawk Air Ride seat cushion. This was what got me cross country. Was basically an air mattress. If I didn't have this, I wouldn't have been able to do it. But overall, it's basically a stock motorcycle. I was one of the few guys that actually ran the stock original clincher style tires. No front brake. The way it should be. So it was. I wanted to run the bike as stock as possible, and I was able to do so safely.
This is a 1916. It's a overhead valve model, or an 8-valve. Under 30 were produced. Harley has one 8-valve in their museum. It was reported to be purchased over $1 million. This bike, much less, because it has reproduction cylinders, where no one would be starting $1 million motorcycle if there's only 3 or 4 of them left on the planet. So this is user-friendly. A lot of it is original. Some of it is reproduction. And basically, it's what the factory would use in 1916. So we're going to prime it up with some primer. Put it in the carburetor. Hopefully you guys got a fire extinguisher. We're going to pedal it, and hopefully she'll fire up.
That's great.
The first factory rider who rode this in 16, they asked them what they thought of the new 8-valve, and it's quoted in one of the American racing magazines, said it's like having a stick of dynamite between your legs. And that was a quote from the factory guy. Yeah.
In the museum, we have over 350 motorcycles, over 40 of which have been completely restored by one of the finest restoring people in the business, Mr. Chris Matthews. Chris is here today to talk about one of the bikes he restored. Hi, Chris. How you doing?
My name is Chris Matthews. I build and I restore bikes for Motorcyclepedia. I've done a little over 40 of these bikes in the last 8 years. Some of them are complete restorations from original bikes. Some are built from parts, whatever's missing, they make to finish the bikes up. This is a 1908 Indian Twin Racer that I built about 2 years ago. This bike is about the 6th racer of this style I built for Motorcyclepedia.
Anything you're working on now?
I'm building a 1901 Indian that's missing from the line. It was a bike that was basically, there was a prototype and there was pictures of it for motorcycle shows, but they really didn't produce the bike. They produced a prototype, which existence, I don't know where it exists. So I'm building it for Motorcyclepedia from scratch. Everything's from scratch. The motor, I'm doing from pictures, the frame, everything is done from 2 pictures of the bike that exists. And they're not photographed, they're pencil pictures. So we have to downsize all the components to that year. So it's a lot of work because there's 2 pictures of the bike, and everybody that's going to look at the bike is going to look at the 2 pictures
Differently.
And every piece on this bike's got to look like the pictures from both sides.
Right.
So
Right.
it's probably the most difficult project because we're starting out with casting a motor, making cylinders, making a frame, a gas tank. The bike never existed except for probably the prototype that they built in '01, but they didn't start putting them out until '03. So being a prototype, it's not something they put into production that you can go out and just look at one of Jerry's bikes and say, okay, we're gonna copy this, we're gonna copy that. We're doing it from a picture, so we're trying to get as much information on the bike as possible. But the only information really is a picture of the right side of the bike and the left side of the bike. So it's been very difficult.
I like this bike here. It's a Sturgis version of the bike that came out for Sturgis. It's a very, very rare shovel head right there. And these are all Sportsters. That's a cafe racer up there on the top up here.
Yeah, they have a show.
That's a super rare bike right there for a Sportster. This place is just
It's amazing.
unbelievable, huh?
We made it up on the wall of death. Like
Yeah, the
we
wall
were
of
the
death is
third
awesome.
person up there. So we got to see the whole show.
Thought they were going to run us over. He was so close to us with the
It was
wheels.
awesome.
I don't
Totally
know how he doesn't
awesome.
get dizzy and fall off the bike.
But we used to go to Ted's shop and see some of what he has. Now it's amazing. We
Yeah.
haven't even seen it all. We've been here, what, a couple hours?
Yeah, and I restore motorcycles myself, older Harleys and stuff. And, I'm a Ted's dealer actually for Ted. I buy parts, and it's just to do this with his bikes is just an amazing feat. I couldn't imagine the money he put into this place. I think he's going to do really well here. He's something good for the community, and I'm just really impressed. I'm really impressed.
These bikes here, this was the mainstay of the U.S. Army, the WLA there in the middle. This bike here is a 1940. That bike there is a 1939. This is this in 1939, up till 1939, military bikes were just civilian motorcycles that were painted OD green. Left all the chrome on them, left everything, they just painted them OD green. It was this transition into 1940 that they finally figured out that shiny stuff will get you shot.
I'd like to introduce to you Dan Hankey, a longtime friend of the Dorings and an organizer of the Rhinebeck Motorcycle Extravaganza that happens every June. Dan?
Thank you, Mark. Good afternoon, everyone. I've got the pleasure here today of introducing a long-term Harley-Davidson mechanic extraordinaire from the Hudson Valley, long-term motorcycle rider, Mr. Sam Armstrong. How are you doing today, Sam?
Fine, very well.
Sam, myself being a graduate of Harley-Davidson service schools and long-term mechanic myself, from what I understand, you had somewhat of a relationship with Roger Riemann, AMA champion.
I went to school with Roger Riemann in 1957, the Harley-Davidson school in Milwaukee. And Roger was then driving a Hudson Hornet. And I remember him before he was the national #1. And we used to go roller skating together at night in Milwaukee because we couldn't drink beer. We weren't old enough. So that's how I know Roger, and I got to be good friends with the guy for quite a while.
That's amazing. When you mentioned the Hudson Hornet, that was quite the automobile back in the day. That was the car to contend with until eventually the General Motors come out with the short stroke overhead valve V8s. That was quite the car to contend with. Roger Riemann, when did he begin basically his campaign, Sam?
I would think somewhere around 1960, 61. Right. And didn't take him very long, and he was the #1 plate. And he had some tough people to come up against.
Harley Davidson wise.
Oh yes, they were. It was tough going back then to get to be the #1, but they were the Harley Davidson dealer in Kewanee, Illinois. I remember that.
Okay.
And his father was into racing before, which probably helped him to set up the motorcycle so they could get it to go so well, because I never remember him having anything slow.
Exactly. Now, he would have been up against some renowned riders like probably Carol Reese-Weber as well, would have been coming in at that time. Joe Leonard. Now, I recall Motorcyclist magazine, 1957, Joe Leonard wins Laconia, the Laconia National, and Roger Riemann was just coming up then, right? He was doing the amateur.
I believe so, yes.
To bear in mind, at that point in our nation, the British had a major influx coming into this country immediately following World War II onward. And up in the period of time, the late 50s, early 60s, you had a major British influx of all high-performance equipment coming in on a day-to-day, weekly basis. Harley Davidson was basically against the world then in competition. The Indian motorcycle had long died in the mid-50s. So it was, again, Harley Davidson against the world, and you had some heavy-duty British equipment to contend with.
You also had some Indians that hung right on there, though.
Yes.
In 1954, I think it was, Indian won the Springfield Mile and got the #1 plate because they were able to put down Joe Leonard's Harley, and they were able to beat Al Gunter on a BSA.
That's amazing.
And that's amazing because it takes brute power to win on a mile.
Absolutely. You get out on a mile track, any of you that have been up near Syracuse, New York, to see a mile close at hand, it's just absolutely amazing. Bringing us more onto the home front here, Sam, how long have you known Ted and Jerry Doring, particularly Jerry Doring?
That goes back many years. Jerry was an electrician back in them days, and I worked for a Rambler dealership in Vales Gate in 1960, and that's where I met Jerry.
Amazing. I know Jerry has quite a background with Indian going on forward, and eventually with Ted with the cycle business. I can remember Ted setting up a weekend swap meet basically on the home front right in the yard to building on up in the Ted cycle shed. So it's quite interesting. We go way back together. So a little bit of Hudson Valley history here, as I say. It's quite interesting.
Well, Jerry used to spoke wheels most of the time.
Right.
He sat in this shed, which was made of concrete, and with a salamander alongside of him.
Yeah.
It's a wonder if he lived through lung cancer. I'm telling you, anybody can. Because, boy, that place was filled with that black smoke, and he spoke wheels all day in and day out, as far as I can remember.
Oh, yeah.
We're speaking with Mark Suppley, and Mark has a 1926 Harley Davidson. And Mark, tell me the story about the gentleman that coached you to rebuild yours, and what a surprise it was to find that bike here.
Right. 1986, I won the Nationals for Best Restored Antique, and the guy that coached me was Louis Lekva. He was the founder of the Antique Motorcycle Club, and he passed away the same year I won the award. I came down to the show today and was surprised to find his motorcycle here, Ace, a 1922 Ace Sport Scout, and I always wondered where that went, and here it is.
You know where it is.
Yep, very good to see.
Good. Yeah. And you were explaining to me a story before about some of the early motorcyclists.
Well, board track racing is nicely highlighted here at this museum, and I give talks on board track motorcycle racing. When the guys went from bicycle racing to riding the boards on motorcycles. And they actually have the Wall of Death here today, which gives you a miniature version of what board track racing was.
Second. Good. Picture. 6 meter high. It's good. On the front. Bingo.
alternate. The next show, 12:30, 1:30, 2:30, and so on. Okay. I ride my old Honda in German. I drive old Indian in another war. Indians, this is a Honda with go-kart, or in German, the smallest motorcycle. The smallest motorcycle has 9 kilograms. I want to see my bike live in German. Next week, the next show is in German. Okay, viel Spaß, I give my best, thank you. Shut up, auf geht's.
There's a set going strong, a lot of things going on. The man of the hour has an airplane power. The dudes have been with him for so long. Oh, Superfly, you're gonna make your fortune by and by. But if you lose, don't ask no questions why. The only game you know is do or die. Hard to understand. What a hell of a man. This cat of the slum had a mind, wasn't dumb. But a weakness was shown, cause his hustle was wrong. His mind was his own, but the man lived alone. Ooh, Superfly, you're gonna make your fortune by and by. But if you lose, don't ask no questions why. The only game you know is do or die. The game he plays for kids. Hustling times in ghetto streets, trying to get over. That's what they're trying to do, y'all. Taking all that he can take, gambling with the odds of fate, trying to get over. Trying to get over. Trying to get over. Ooh, Superfly. The aim of his road was to move a lot of blow. Ask him his dream, what does it mean? He wouldn't know. Can't be like the rest is the most he'll confess. But the time's running out and there's no happiness. Ooh, Superfly, you're gonna make your fortune by and by. If you lose, don't ask no questions why. The only game you know is
Aufwärts. Normally 25, 30 miles, 20, 30, 35 miles, je nachdem. The fastest record is in kilometer. In kilometer, 85 kilometer. Aber nur 5-6 rounds. Aber hier normal.
Yeah, a little bit. But the back wheel is not lined up. Thank you.
Please, bitte.
A little bit. No, you don't do this. Absolutely. Frankie.
I drive here slow. You see the show? No? I come the next show is ist da die Uhr?
Yeah, Google, motorcycle.
So, please. For you.
That's a good one. Those trucks, because they're not American. Oh, no, I could do that. How do you do it? Those trucks,
Please.
we put on top.
So you've been collecting for 60 years, right?
Yeah.
And Ted's been collecting for 40 years.
The first bike I stopped, and it used to belong to Indian Larry, briefly.
Right.
It was a 31 Indian Chief.
31.
31. I still got it. It was a part, but I got it. And it's got cast aluminum tanks.
Wow.
Which Indian had those in Henderson, I believe.
Henderson,
They're
right.
the only two that had cast aluminum, so they're
Right.
pretty thick.
Right.
Indestructible. Right?
Indestructible, right. It'll never rest.
So, it went on. And then I just filled in. We adhere to one you want,
Mm-hmm.
the year to get it, to do the timeline anyway. I don't think any of them were built, but some might have needed something. But when you went to the meets and the flea markets, you could mostly get it.
Right.
I went to Hershey one year. That's a big,
Hershey, Pennsylvania.
yeah,
right?
big car thing. Yeah,
Yes,
every
it
year.
is.
But anyway, a hell of a flea market, right? And I remember getting a rolling chassis. Now we're going along, and this guy down there's got an engine. So I said to the guy with me, I said, stay back, don't let him see that we got the rest of the bike. He'll want more. He'll want more for the engine. So I bought the engine. It was $250 or something, $250.
Right.
But it was the one I needed.
It was what you
So
needed.
you could actually go around and you could build them.
Yeah. What's your name?
Kayla.
What is it?
Kayla.
Kayla. Do you like the motorcycles, Kayla?
Yes.
Yeah. Are you gonna ride a motorcycle when you get big?
Yeah.
You are. Is this your dad?
Yeah.
I think your dad rides a motorcycle, huh?
Yes.
What's your favorite motorcycle?
Pyrical.
See, she lives with the Flying Merc.
Oh, right.
That one is in my living room. So
Right.
She,
So
and
she
her
loves
little
it.
chair is right next to it.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, so she loves it.
That's great.
She comes down to the shop
Oh,
downstairs, and she builds bikes.
Good. That's great.
Great fun.
All right. How do you like the museum?
Unbelievable.
Isn't it?
Yep, glad he got to see it.
What's your name?
Joey.
Joey.
Yeah, he just thanked Ted for letting him, give him the opportunity to see it.
Oh, that's great. That's great. You gonna ride a motorcycle?
Yeah.
You think? Yeah.
Well, I'm a volunteer here because, I've known Ted all my life. Actually, on the way home from the hospital, my mom, brought me to meet Ted. My mom has been working for Ted and Ted Cycle, Ted's other business, for about 25 years. And Ted has known both my brother, who's 10 years older than me, he's 22, and me, for most of our lives. In fact, all of them. Yeah, so, I just like helping Ted out with this stuff. I mean, I love motorcycles. My dad has two at home. It's one of the coolest things just to be driving down the road in one of these and just, wind in your hair, bugs in your teeth type of thing,
That was Motorcycles Incorporated in New York City when
Oh,
they were
really?
selling Indians to the police department.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
In that picture there, where it says 44?
44.
Right. That belonged to
Indian
the
Land?
Indian factory.
Oh, the Indian factory.
That was the Indian factory store.
Wow. Yeah,
Out of New York City.
No kidding. Yeah, there were quite a few motorcycle places in Newburgh. I'm surprised to hear that, right? Back in the day?
In Newburgh, I don't know how many were here, but I know there was 2 or 3.
Yeah. Well, for a small city, right?
Yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you.
There
Appreciate
was,
it.
I'm trying to think of the Indian dealer that was here. He had...
Jerry, I'm sure he would know.
Oh, Coberline.
He was
Coberline.
Harley.
Oh, Harley.
Who was the Indian dealer here before my dad?
Warner.
Charlie Warner.
Warner,
People
right,
used to
you said
confuse them. Weiner and Warner.
Right.
But your father used to go down at night, and he got the agency, and he'd say, Charlie, don't forget, get that little thing out of the window that says authorized dealer, but he didn't have it no more. Your dad had it. So he'd say, he'd go down and heckle him. He was good for that too. Yeah.
This is George.
Hi, how you doing?
Oh,
Good, George.
he's had probably public speaking.
Yes.
Oh, yeah?
Okay.
You.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, I've been here and done that on a lot of things, and it started way back when I was in high school with the motorcycles.
How old are you now, George?
I'll be 90 next month.
Good for you. Good for you. And you got a girlfriend too, don't you?
Oh, yeah. She turns 83 the day after I turn 90.
You see, that's it, right? That's what keeps you young, right?
Yeah, she's a cute little girl. About 5 feet, about the size of my mother. My mother was small. I could put my arm out and my mother could walk under it.
Is that right?
Oh, yeah.
Now, you were a bike rider, a very avid
Oh,
bike
yeah.
rider.
I started riding bikes back in 39, 38 even.
What was your first bike?
It was an Indian, a little pony Indian.
Uh-huh.
And I had a good time, but then I switched to Harleys and stuck with them after that, although in the later years I did have a Honda one time, and then I had a Kawasaki.
How long have you known the Dorings?
Since back around 1937 or 8 or 9, somewhere in
A
there.
few years, huh?
Yeah, a long time.
So was it a nice turnout for Ted
Oh, I
and
think it
Jerry?
was terrific.
Yep.
Like now, Jerry, Kate's husband, I remember him when he was just a little boy, because I was what, 18, 19 when I was dating his sister. Then I married her.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
And so I've been familiar with them ever since then.
Well, good. And anything you'd like to say to them today?
Do I what?
Anything you'd like to say to them? Wish them luck, maybe?
Oh, no, I wish them luck and the best of everything here.
Good health.
Yeah, for health, that's definitely it.
That's definitely the
I'm glad that I'm doing as well as I am at this age. But
You're in good shape, brother. I hope I look like you when I'm 90. Thank you, George.
You're welcome.
I appreciate
Take
it.
care.
Mrs. During, always a pleasure. Now we have Willie Morris.
Yeah.
Right?
Like the Morse code.
Right, Willie Morris, like the Morris code. How are you, Will?
Oh, very good. It's a nice day for opening for a museum.
Yes, what do you think of our museum?
It's terrific. I live right across the river in beautiful downtown Beacon.
Oh, great. You must know Pete Seeger?
I do know him.
I know him well.
We have a lot of famous people there.
Yeah.
And we hope to see you over there when we have our Spirit of Beacon Day every September.
Okay, just contact us. We'll get there.
Yep, BSA, that's right. See it, 1959 Leaks like a sieve. Oil. Oh, yeah. Oh, God, they leak oil like you don't.
We're here today at the grand opening of Ted and Jerry Doring's Motorcyclepedia in lovely downtown Newburgh, New York. And Mr. Doring and two gentlemen, Tom and Kevin, who did the electrical work for the museum. Ted, are you happy today?
We're happy. We've had a crew that's worked nonstop for probably 3 or 4 months straight. Before that, I think Tom was in here in 2004.
Yeah.
Getting the details. So the last month we really pushed it to finish with the the lighting and the final touches.
Yeah, I think we came a long ways with this, and I wish good luck to everybody here.
Kevin?
The Wall of Death was a real challenge, and I really looked forward to getting that running. It's all German voltages, and we were able to convert it to American and get it working. I was really happy to do that.
Let me ask, how tough was he on you guys to get the job done?
It's not tough at all.
No, unless I call him if I forget to turn on the switch, which is not.
Never even heard anything from him. We just come
that's
in
nice,
and
yeah.
just do what we have to do.
So what do you think? You think maybe this is going to help Newburgh pull itself up by the
really
boot?
do, yeah.
Right?
It's definitely going to help.
I think that today's turnout was tremendous. Don't you agree?
Yes, I do. I think it's a great example of American ingenuity, business. Leave business alone, they'll grow,
Right.
and they don't need TARP money and stimulus money, and just leave business alone and they'll turn the country around.
You just need that blue collar mentality. Roll up your sleeves and get it done, right?
That's it.
Right?
Get it done.
Anything you want to say to Ted?
Congratulations.
Yeah,
Ted.
congratulations
Kevin,
and good luck.
And Tom, and I've
Yes,
known
sir.
Tom for years, and my
Yeah.
dad knew Tom's dad, so it's a
family
it's kind
affair.
of family
Family
affair.
affair.
Yeah.
Great, great.
Yep.
Okay, thank you very much,
right.
gentlemen. Appreciate your
Thank
time.
you, Mark. Thank
Great
you.
working with all you guys.
Yes, and the same here.
It's a pleasure to be here today, going over more Hudson Valley motorcycling history. We just covered all bases on Harley Davidson. Now we're going to cover the end of the Triumph, the British end of motorcycling, its agencies and respect throughout the late 50s into the 1960s onward. We've got Q Fryer here today, who was known of the House of Triumph in New York. Q? It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure, Q. We've basically covered the Harley Davidson end, the British influx coming in after World War II with a massive campaign and competition. We covered a couple of the AMA championship riders. Could you give us some of your perspective on Triumph?
Well, Triumph. First, I started out racing Triumph motorcycles, and I couldn't make enough money racing. So
I understand. It's a tough time.
So I became a dealer. It was relatively easy in the old days. I had the good fortune of being close with Whitey Loud, who was a
famous name. Triumph again.
Triumph man, and he took me under his wing, and he had me open up what he thought would be a brand store, but I didn't want that. I wanted my own store.
Right.
So we formed a partnership. I had one store, he had the other store, and it was really a great time in my life with motorcycles.
This time Q would be what, the early 60s?
Yeah, early 60s.
Right.
And on through into the 70s. In the beginning, I didn't have much of a customer base, so at that time Triumph had a deal on leftover motorcycles. I'm not sure the year. I think
Right.
66 or 67.
Mid 60s, right.
And I went down to Baltimore. That's where the Triumph deal was, with Timonium, Maryland.
Okay.
Where the Triumphs were on the East Coast. And I believe the name was Mr. McCormick, was the head of the whole regular. And I went into him and I told him, I said, I want to build up a dealer base and whatnot. And to do that, I have to get motorcycles on the road.
On your own, right.
Yeah. So I would like to put an ad in the paper. This was back then before sales tax and whatnot.
Exactly.
I'd like to put an ad in the paper, put the bikes on the road for $9.95, a brand new Triumph. But at that time, it was like about $900 dealer cost on it, or $8.95.
There was no big profit margin.
Yeah, so McCormick says to me, he says, well, that's a great idea, kid. I was a kid then. And he said, I tell you what, he says, I'll give you the bikes for $7.95.
Fantastic.
So you can make it a couple $100. So I went outside into the it was a warehouse like this here.
Right.
And they had a trailer hooked up to my little dinky F-150 pickup.
Okay.
They had a trailer hooked up. They had 2 motorcycles this way and 2 nailed down this way.
Really? So they had the trailer all hooked up?
No, that was 4 in the truck. Then they put 10 on the trailer.
Oh my gosh. You're going to head north now.
Coming home on the Jersey Turnpike was a real trip, let me tell you. Going up was not bad, but going down that long hill was one scary thing. I went through.
Oh my gosh.
I was scared more than any time I was racing.
And these are all brand new machines.
Brand new machines. Well, I had a couple of guys working for me. We couldn't get them out of the crates quick enough. They were
I'll bet.
Bing, bing, bing.
Yeah, the 60s Triumph was hot.
How you doing, gentlemen? What do you think?
Hello. Nice.
Nice museum, right?
Yeah, beautiful.
Are you avid motorcycle riders?
Yeah,
Are you?
yeah, these are nice. Well done.
Aren't they? Yeah, yeah. I'm told it's one of the most extensive motorcycle museums in the world. I'm not a motorcycle enthusiast, but I'm a history buff.
Very well could be. They got a ton of bikes here.
Yep.
Some of them are real Americana.
Have you been downstairs yet?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So you saw the Motordrome there? It's
Yeah.
great, right?
Yeah.
Are you from Newburgh, local, or?
Yeah.
What do you think? Maybe this will help our economy?
Sure, be great.
It'd be great, right?
It would be great. Yeah, I mean, you see the whole line of years.
Yeah.
And it's amazing.
Yeah, fantastic. What kind of a bike do you drive?
A Victory.
A Victory. Wow. Okay, cool.
And these are just classics.
Yep.
Some of them look like they just came out of the,
Right out of the
came
wrapper.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right on the shoulder.
Yep.
They did fine. They really did a nice job here.
Oh, great.
I wish them the best of luck.
Oh, great. Thank you very much. We appreciate you coming.
No problem.
Okay. You have a great day.
You too.
What do you think?
I think it's great. Yeah, there's a real lot to look at.
Yep.
I just got here, actually.
Did you?
Yeah, about 5 minutes ago.
Oh, wow. So you haven't even left this room yet, have you?
No, I just entered here.
Well, you're in for a surprise, let me tell you.
It's unfortunate I only brought so many pictures.
What do you think, guys?
Oh, fabulous.
Isn't it great?
It's unbelievable.
Isn't it fantastic?
Yeah.
Yeah, it really is. Are you a motorcycle enthusiast, I take it?
I am not. These two are, though.
Are you?
Yeah. I mean, I would like to be, but I'm not.
No, I'm not either. I'm not. But I like the history end of it. If you, have you just get here, or did you see?
We saw the Wall of Death.
Oh, you went downstairs? Yeah,
it's pretty
yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, it's really, really awesome. That guy is from Germany. I don't know if you realize it or not.
I got a chance to meet him the other day.
Pitt
Yeah.
and his wife.
Yep.
And they actually would erect that thing, do the show for a week,
Yep.
and take it down and move to the next town, and they still do it.
They still do it. He's been at it 32 years.
He's 2 years
57.
older than a year older than me. He's 57, yeah, and he
Yeah.
still does it.
Yep.
And looks young. Yeah, he looks good. But if you saw, we did a documentary of them building it, and from what I understand, lots of people are trying to buy it. So I think they're gonna produce some. But his wife works harder than any man I know. You got to see these people.
Yeah.
If you get a chance to go back down there, there's a video loop playing, 15-minute, and it shows you a quick how it came in on a truck and how it was erected down there.
Oh, that would be cool.
Yeah, if you go down, before you leave, go down. It's playing on a loop every 15 minutes. It's on the screen right next to the stage. I
Yep.
think you'll enjoy it.
Yeah.
Are you guys from Newburgh or?
Warwick.
Warwick. Hey,
Actually.
you're close.
Yeah.
Yeah, close
Yeah,
enough.
Warwick.
We're hoping that this is going to help the economy here in Newburgh and maybe get us a little respect.
Finn was saying there should be a rally. Yeah. It should be a rally.
Well, we're trying to. We're trying to do that. We're trying to get some people to donate to the museum. And the thing is, now that the museum is open, I don't think the general public is aware that you need a third of whatever comes into this museum has got to be from the public. Otherwise, they lose their charter.
They lose the charter.
Right.
Yeah.
So we need to get the word out that, just want people to support the place, that's all. Today it was free admission. The general admission is going to be $10, which is so cheap. I mean, yeah.
Right.
And we have a nice alliance with the Hilton Garden Inn right next to the Orange County Choppers.
Oh, yeah.
So if people want to come from Manhattan for a weekend, they'll get a special rate for the room, and then they're going to provide shuttle service to and from the museum.
Great.
So it's
That's
awesome.
great.
I mean,
That's great.
the river, the restaurants, there's so much to see. What's your name?
My name is Carol.
Carol, did you have a good time today?
It's phenomenal. This place just blows your mind.
Isn't it great?
We're just hearing wonderful feedback from everyone walking through here.
That's what we want to hear.
Absolutely.
Excuse me, guys. Did I just ask you, did you have a good time today? Did you enjoy it? Remarkable. Right?
Remarkable.
Are you from Newburgh? Or?
Absolutely, yes. We have a bike shop right around the corner.
Oh, what's your bike shop?
Orange County Bobbers.
Oh, that's good. I've seen it.
Yes, instead of choppers, we're bobbers.
Yeah, I hear it. That's good.
Bobbers came before choppers.
Oh, there you go.
It's incredible.
Isn't it great?
Yes.
Yeah. So you got to see the whole place?
Yeah.
Orange County Bobbers.
5 times over.
Pardon?
We had to keep going back 5 times over.
Well, thank you for coming. I appreciate it.
All right,
Good luck.
okay, take care now.
Orange County Bobbers. I'll remember that.
Yes.
Okay. Oh, I see. That's your motorcycle. And how long have you been riding?
I'm too old to ride anymore.
What they call you, motorcycle mama?
Oh, my son did.
Okay, there you
He
go.
thought it was funny.
So did I. I thought that was funny. Hi, how you doing?
Hi.
Good. You want to know how you enjoyed yourself?
Yes, very good. I've seen motorcycle collections all around the world. I'm from England.
Oh, you are?
Yeah, I'm here for a few years, so I've been hearing about the museum being built up, and I couldn't resist the chance to come up and have a look. It's an exceptionally good collection.
Oh, that's great. Great. How long have you been in the country?
About 2 years now. Yeah, living in New Jersey, so just down the road.
You rode the bike?
Yes, yeah. No, it's like an English summer's day out there, so it's no problem.
No problem.
No.
What was your favorite exhibit here?
I particularly like the Indians, the collection from the very early ones, right the way through, sequence year by year, immaculate condition.
Perfect,
yes.
right?
Yes, yeah, very good.
Have you seen other museums throughout in England?
Oh yes, yeah. Sammy Miller has a big museum in England, and it's a very good collection. But this is exceptional.
Would you say this is one of the largest in the world, or would I be out of line?
No. Certainly for Harley Davidsons and Indian machines like that sort of the older era of bikes, I'd say it's one of the best in the world I've seen. So.
I'd just like to know what your favorite part of the museum was. Maybe your favorite.
Definitely the Indian Museum. It's the best.
Everybody likes that Indian Museum.
I've known the Durings for the last 40 years.
Awesome.
And I've seen some of the bikes, but I haven't seen all the bikes.
Yeah, you haven't seen them like this.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah, that's great.
It's been great.
Did you get to watch Pitt?
Yeah, I did all that.
Pretty cool, right?
Definitely.
Are you a Newburgh guy from Newburgh?
No, Wappingers.
Wappingers, yeah. Close enough to ride.
And I've got a bunch of old bikes too, so it's fun.
Just wanted to know what you thought of the museum.
Oh, it was very nice, very nice, very nice.
What was your favorite exhibit?
I like it all. I've known Ted since '69.
Really?
Yeah, when he actually worked out of his father's garage.
No kidding.
Yeah, well, Nick, the guy just left. Yeah, we used to go over there.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's a long time ago.
Yeah, this is a hell of a...
Oh, this is beautiful.
Isn't it beautiful?
This is. It's nice to have it right here. It's close, you know.
Yeah, it sure is.
You don't have to travel. You know, it's only a 10-minute drive.
That's right. It's nice to have something good in Newburgh, too.
Oh,
Newburgh.
well, they need this.
Yeah,
this
Newburgh takes a beating.
It does. No, this is beautiful. You know, this building sat empty for years and years. Now it's a beautiful.
Yep. It's almost like the building was made for a museum.
And Jerry's the nicest guy in the
Great
world.
guy.
He deserves everything. This was very nice, very nice.
Tell me how you liked the exhibits.
Wonderful museum. I hope they get proper publicity for them to have something this expansive in our area. Fantastic.
Yeah, I had a great time. I came from Long Island.
Did you really?
Yeah, I drove up.
Wow. It was a nice drive up?
It was well worth it, yeah.
Can I ask you how you enjoyed the museum?
Great, it was great.
Great.
Wonderful.
What was your favorite exhibit?
Pardon?
What was your favorite exhibit?
Indians?
The Indians. Everybody
Yeah.
loves the Indians, huh?
I have a museum myself, a long ways from here.
Do you really? Where?
Dixon, California. I flew out here to get some ideas. I'm getting ready to open one.
Is that right?
Right.
What was your favorite exhibit?
Actually, I liked a lot of the early chopper stuff. It's going back to our time, you know, where we used to seeing a little bit here and there on the road, you know. A lot of the early custom stuff. Everything was
Pretty
nice.
cool. You got to see everything, right?
Oh yeah, a fantastic timeline and stuff.
Isn't it great? Yeah, and then you were able to watch Pitt in the.
I didn't go in and see it.
Oh, you didn't get to see it?
No, we've
heard
seen it before in other
Yeah.
other functions.
Have you? Yeah.
This is great.
Isn't it great?
To have it right in your backyard. To have it an hour from home.
Now, where do you guys come from? Where do you-
Upstate just a little bit, Catskill.
Oh, that's very close. That's very close. So, what's your name?
Ray.
Ray? Mark? Thank you so much for coming. Tell your friends and
problem.
relatives to come back.
Definitely. Great.
Bob Hempstead.
Hi, Bob. Mark Gamma. Good to meet you. Thank you for coming.
Catskill.
Hi, Wally. Thank you so much for coming. Tell everybody to come and see us.
Oh, definitely.
Take
Okay.
care. Yes.
We'll be back.
Good. Great. I'm glad you come back. That's good. Yeah, it's fantastic, isn't it?
Well, I like the
the trikes, the choppers, the one chopper there that he put together. Oh,
It's great, right?
it brings back such memories. Back in the 60s when I got my license, I used to leave summer school on my Harley, and I pull a wheelie for the. And they nicknamed me Wally Wheelie. So I used to pull a wheelie for the teacher.
For the teacher, right?
For the teacher.
The teacher give you a little extra?
Yeah, he would stop class and wait a minute, Wally's taking off, man. And I pull a wheelie the length of the parking lot. Good old days.
So you did real well when you were in summer school, didn't you?
I graduated.
Yeah, you're right. No, we're waiting for you, sir.
Why are you waiting for me?
Oh, we've been waiting for you. How did you enjoy the museum?
Wonderful. Very, very wonderful museum. I'm really happy with it.
Oh, good. What was your favorite exhibit?
Well, I'm the president of the Antique Motorcycle Foundation, so my favorite exhibit is the Foundation Fast from the Past exhibit.
Oh,
but I'm kind of partial, so.
Oh, no, that's great. That's great. That's great. Are you local?
I'm from Florida. Lakewood, Florida, yeah.
You were visiting, or did you?
No, I came up just for the opening.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. Orange County Barbers. They were just here.
Sir, we were. My boss just left, actually.
Yes, he did.
And we're local.
Yeah.
We do all this old school stuff, keeping it old school.
What was your favorite exhibit?
It's a toss-up between the Arlen Ness stuff and the Ed Big Daddy Roth stuff. Love the old school. Absolutely, we keep it old school.
What did you think?
It's awesome. It's really awesome.
What was your favorite display?
All of them.
That's a pretty common answer. Yeah.
Well, I mean, there's a lot to choose from. They're all beautiful.
This is amazing. It's mind-boggling.
What was your favorite exhibit?
I love the Indian timeline. There's so many. I went yesterday to the Indian Museum in Springfield, Massachusetts, and they have a drop in the bucket compared to what they have here. And that's the Indian Museum.
Right.
This is just, it's mind-boggling.
I'm glad you had a good time. What's your name?
John.
John, thank you for coming.
Thank you.
I appreciate it.
It's unbelievable. Ted did some job.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
Amazing.
But it seems to me a man on a motorcycle is kind of like a man on a horse back in the day. Yes?
Yeah, that or like, what do you call it? Ted says limber, that's his favorite, solo.
Yeah. Solo, right. Nobody around, right. The wind in your hair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No helmet some days, no problem. Only on the track. You didn't need
really?
them for the highway.
Huh. But it's a good thing that they have helmets, because...
Well, I don't care. They can wear them, but I didn't need them because I didn't hit my head.